Hello, everyone. This is Dani, and you're watching Saturday Stitching, where every day can feel like Saturday if your stitching is going well. As I said, my name is Dani, and we are here again with my daughter Maia. Say hi, Maia.
Hello. I will be watching the chat.
Yes. As if you're watching this later, then you'll realize pretty quickly that we're doing this live. Not that we expect anybody to show up live, it's just easier to record that way. Okay, so to start off with, I know that most people only come to see if I'm going to talk about anything yarny, and I don't have a lot to talk about this week, so we're going to get it out of the way up front so y'all can go do whatever else y'all want to do. Okay, so I was working last week. If you watched my last video, I was working last week on the square for the unraveled mittens crochet along and a baby sweater. Okay, so I still haven't finished anything. Now I was close to finishing my square, but I lost. I had little balls of yarn, scrap yarn that I was using, and I lost one of the balls. So I have about this much yarn left, and that's not going to be enough because I have about 4 rows to go. So I didn't want to rip that square out just in case I find wherever that ball of yarn disappeared to. So what I'm going to do is just set it aside next week, next Wednesday, because I think she puts out the squares every other Wednesday. Next Wednesday, she's supposed to be putting out a new square.
I'll be back.
Okay,
Sorry.
no problem. So I will just continue on with the square that I'll just continue on with the crochet along and then keep that square to the side. And then if I find that yarn, then I'll go back and finish that square. If I do not find the yarn, then I will just make a new square out of different yarn, which is a shame because I really like the way those two colors were looked together. As I said, my husband had picked out the purple and green, and it um, halfway through, I realized those were the old Charlotte Hornets colors, which I kind of got a kick out of because my husband and I are old enough to remember when Charlotte did not have an NBA team. And so we remember when the Hornets came to Charlotte. So it's even though I'm not a basketball fan by any means, I I get a kick out of when Charlotte grows. Charlotte is the town that's, the biggest metropolis close to us, I guess you could say. And I get a kick out of watching it. I moved to this state when I was 10, and Charlotte it was somewhat of a city, but it was still kind of the big bag that we lived in the country. We still kind of that people, thought, oh, go to Charlotte, it's scary. So, but now it really is those same people, if they can look forward to what Charlotte has turned into, they'd really be scared to drive to Charlotte. But so I remember things like when the Coliseum was built and when we got the Hornets and stuff. So seeing that I accidentally picked out Hornets colors was kind of funny to me. So that square is on hold, but hopefully by time, since as I remember, I'm not recording next Saturday, March 2nd, because I'll be out of town. So hopefully by the time I record the following Saturday, then there will be, I'll have something else to show you. Hopefully I'll have the new square from the Unraveled Mitten to show. But in the meantime, the only other thing that I have, the only other whip, which you can probably see me looking down at right now, is the 5 Hour Baby Sweater that I mentioned last week. And I didn't get much done on it. I mean, it's a lot for me, but it's not much. You get to the end of this row, and I will show you where I am on it. Okay, Maya, side note, I'm definitely hearing that echo now. Do you have something changed on your end?
No, nothing changed on my end other than walking away and coming back. I've got you on the computer, but that's completely muted. I'm not using a speaker or anything. I have no clue. Maybe it's just going live.
Okie dokie. See, I just heard it again. Sorry,
Maybe
guys, for watching.
it may have something to do with the fact that because I like my speaker is right beside my microphone on my phone. You may just be hearing that. I could put you on the Bluetooth speaker, but I don't know what that would do. You just completely muted for me. I have no idea what you're saying. No sound. I don't know what happened. I didn't even do anything.
How about now?
Oh, you're back.
And so is the echo.
Sorry. You want me to try putting you on the Bluetooth speaker?
Yeah, try that and see if that'll work. Sorry, everybody who's watching. We tried to work this out before we went live, but before we went live, there was no echo whatsoever. And now that we're live, we're getting this bad echo, which isn't terrible, but I know that when I go back and watch the video, it'll be awful because last week's video, the sound was not very good. So
Let's see.
hey, you.
Almost got it. Okay, how are things for you now?
Okay, it sounds. Oh no. I was about to say it sounds fine, but I hear another echo. And you sound like you're in a tunnel.
That's what happens when I turn the.
Say something.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Ha ha. Okay, I don't have an echo, but you sound like you're in a tunnel. So,
okay. Can you understand me?
if you talk slowly,
I will speak more slowly, and we'll ask people in the chat or whoever watches this video later, just comment down below. Would you prefer this, or would you rather just have the echo and deal with it?
Okay.
Out from there.
Okay. So, as I was saying, the only other thing I've worked on after I ran out of yarn is the 5-hour baby sweater, and this is what I've got so far. This is the first 28 rows of the pattern. I just split. I know you can't really see the markers on here, but I just split the pattern for the arms. So that's why I'm right down to the tips of this 16-inch circular needle. And it looks like it's about to fall off, I know. But I know from experience that I'm going to be splitting this to 3 different needles in a minute. So I just have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got the pattern up on my other monitor over here. I just have to go 4 more rows, and then I will be splitting this part and this part onto holders so that I can work the middle part of the body of the sweater. So there's not really much sewing. There's not really any sewing that you have to do. I'm trying to think. You might, I don't think you even have to really sew up the sleeves because the sleeves are a little like cap sleeve kind of. So I don't think you really have to sew up the sleeves. You split it here once I go down 4 more rows, we're going to split it like I said. And this middle section is going to get worked. And then, well, actually, I'll be working the sleeves first. So I'll be working one sleeve and then another sleeve and then join it all together. So I don't remember sewing anything on this. That's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites, because there's not really any sewing that you have to do. You don't even have to really do buttonholes. If you're the sort who puts buttons on a baby sweater, I know a lot of people are like, you don't put buttons on a baby sweater because they might pull it off and the buttons might go in their mouth. I've done it a couple times, but then there's been a couple times when I haven't. But here in North Carolina, we don't get super cold weather. And even when the baby is, when, because this is for like a 10-pound baby, 8 to 10 pound baby, the size that I'm working on. Usually the sweater is to look cute to take a picture. So you're not trying to like bundle the baby up in this sweater. This is to make a cute outfit so you can take a picture of the kid. They're going to outgrow it in another month and then you can pass it on to somebody else. So it's not meant for forever. That's another reason why I don't mind working it in Red Heart. Even though Red Heart nowadays has gotten softer, this is some of the older Red Heart that has been sitting in a stash for goodness knows how long. So it's not really the new softer Red Heart. It's still kind of rough. It softens up a little bit in the wash, as we all know, but I still consider this more of a baby jacket. This isn't going directly against the baby's skin, really. The baby's gonna have a little shirt on or something, and you're gonna put this on, and it'll be a cute little outfit. And our weather does not get terribly cold here, so this is the kind of thing where you can put this on the baby and leave the house and not really have to have another, maybe a blanket over them in the car seat or the stroller, but that's it. So anyway, I've rambled enough about this. I'm going to be working on it while we talk, but this is all I've gotten done this week. And now, if I was younger, in my younger days, I said I was going to stop talking about this, but I did have one more thing to say. In my younger days, this sweater was true to its name. This was a 5-hour baby sweater. There have been times where, 2 days before a baby shower, I needed something to make, and because I didn't know that my husband was invited to a baby shower for work, and so he was like, well, can you just whip up one of those sweaters for me? At least he didn't want me to whip up a baby blanket, because I ain't whipping up a baby blanket in 48 hours before a baby shower. But I could whip out one of these right quick. Maybe not 5 hours, maybe more like 8 hours, maybe. But still, if you gave me 2 days notice before a baby shower and made sure that my children were fed, I could get this sweater knocked out in time for the baby shower. Nowadays, I don't know. Because part of the reason that I didn't get that much done on this is that I did work on it every night since I made the last video, but my hands were a little, they didn't hurt, but I'd feel some of the numbness coming up, and especially in this right hand, I feel a little bit of pain coming down through here, a little pain, a little bit of just a twinge, not like sharp pain, just a twinge, a slight ache that told me, you know what? And then I started to feel a little bit of twinge through here, and it's like that was a signal to me I need to take a break. So I would only get a few rows done each night, whereas in the past I would have really knocked this out. And I think honestly, even now, I could probably pop some ibuprofen, ignore the pain, and knock one of these out if I had to. But since I'm making this just because I had a desire to see this yarn turned into a baby sweater, I just really wanted to knit this pattern more than anything else. I have no rush, so I'm not going to, hurt myself, because what'll happen is I could push through this baby sweater and have it done, to be. I could have pushed through it this week to have it done, have it to show you guys on Saturday, and then I would not have been able to knit or crochet for the next 2 weeks. So, the only other whip I wanted to mention was the um, as a matter of fact, I am going to. I didn't plan to do this, but I'm gonna go get the go get the project, and go ahead and show it to you. I'm sure I've showed it to you in other videos, but I'll go ahead and grab it. So I'm gonna put my lovely daughter on the screen, and she can tell you what she's working on. Okay.
Oh,
So I'll be right
well,
back.
only
Keep talking, Maya.
can do. So, whip, which I don't normally call things, the whip that I'm working on right now is little baby drink. It's this big, not very big though. And I have there's gold ring that I covered in some this fair black yarn. So I have bundles of black yarn all the time from doing yarn braids and kind of they hang out at the house. So I covered a black ring in that, and I am using some white crochet thread attached to a safety pin to go around and weave the netting design. Let's see. Other things that I have worked on is I just recently got, you can pull everything out. I just recently got a set of surf punches for metal. Let me get the lid off here. And they are this little piece you guys here. And if I take one out, they look like this. And basically, you take it and you sit on the metal, you hold it here, and you take a hammer, and whack, and it leaves an impression in the metal. And then you take enamel, or you can take a Sharpie, but I use enamel because I want it to last longer. And it will leave an imprint in the metal. I'm actually wearing one right now, but I hate taking a stencil off and have too much hair. So I will pull out some of the other ones that I have. I've got one here. Is my knot. It's not going focus. I don't know why not, but it's that one. I've got another one here that says keep going because I'm all about the hippie shit. Living in, oh, can I swear on your channel? I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that. Are we allowed to swear?
Do what?
Allowed to swear?
No, there's no glare.
Oh, swear, as in bad words.
Oh, swear. I don't care.
Okay. Because every time I show people these, the thing that I always say is I'm all about that hippie shit. Because that's what I do. So that's what this is. So here's one that says keep going. It's all inspirational and stuff. And then I've got one that I have already put on a bracelet. Let me adjust things. This one, it says make moves. And cool. I tied to bracelet. I connected some cord and I did some YouTube tutorial searching, and so I made it adjustable. You can put two little straps, and it's adjustable. Cool.
I like those adjustable bracelets.
Me too. That's why, because I want to make it this size, because I know like not everybody has this like me. So this one is fit my average size pants or my boyfriend's big ham hock. So because I tried on this. The only problem that I have right now that I'm trying to figure out how to solve is once you put it on, you've got these two dangly strings here, and I don't know what to do with those because it feels like a lot of excess. I don't know if I'm going to try to string a couple beads on to like maybe keep them tied down or something. So that's what I have to figure out. But
I've seen the adjustable bracelets where the ends are kind of clipped together so that when you open it or close it, I just don't know how you do that, but I've seen that.
I just don't know how it would look. So I'm going to try it out. But these bracelets, including this one, the keep going, and the why not, which are going to be turned into as well, all three of these are going to be part of the Etsy giveaway that I will be doing within the next 2 weeks. I'm going to get Chloe over to get pictures. I can put some pictures up on Instagram. And then I will be doing a giveaway with, I don't know if I'm going to do one giveaway with all three or three separate giveaways maybe. Probably just one giveaway with all three because I don't have time for that. But I'm going to be doing, yes? Are you raising your hand for a question?
I just wanted to say that I don't know if anybody actually heard you because you're starting to get a little glitchy.
Oh,
the video's getting glitchy and the audio's getting glitchy. You might want to switch back. I don't know if the Bluetooth speaker is doing that, if it's pulling too much power or what, but your whole thing's getting glitchy.
It may be. Let's see.
Right, we are switching over. Can you hear me?
Oh, you sound so much better.
Okay, so
like wait a minute. Let me turn my Bluetooth off because I sound like I'm echoing. All right.
okay, so what I was saying was this bracelet, the Make Moves bracelet, include and as well as the Keep Going and the Why Not, which are also going to be turned into bracelets, are going to be part of an Instagram giveaway that I'm going to be doing within the next 2 weeks. So if you are not following my Instagram, we linked it in the last two videos and it will be in the description of this video as well. But follow my Instagram and I will be doing it. Will. It should be. You better if you want them to enter the giveaway. It'll be in the, what do people call it? The doobly doo? That's one of my favorites.
The doobly doo.
It'll be in the doobly doo. But I'll be doing a giveaway. The instructions on how to enter the giveaway will be in the Instagram post, and it'll probably be one of the next few posts that I put up as soon as I can get some good pictures of these bracelets made up. So things are coming. Things will be happening.
Well,
and if this goes well, I'll probably do more giveaways too, because I'm super excited for this one. I haven't even done it yet.
Well, cool. I like the bracelet. You know, you could just slide one home to your mother.
I could. I might. I need to get some more rings because I've got, these are aluminum, which means they're not going to tarnish. They're not going to, unless you have supremely sensitive skin, they're not going to irritate your skin. And the bracelet is made of a hemp cord. I have necklaces that have been made from this before that I've worn like all day, every day, that have not irritated my skin or anything. So, and I've had friends who have, like, I've made them necklaces out of it as well, and it's not irritated the skin or anything. And those are the only two things that this is made of. So I need to get some more aluminum washer pieces, but I also have a couple copper ones. The only thing about the copper, which makes me hesitate to use copper moving forward, like I probably will because I like the look of copper, but copper can tarnish, and so people will have to polish their jewelry if they want to keep it looking all nice and fanciful.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that, Maya. Okay, so I retrieved my the stuff I went in the room for.
Oh, don't forget to turn the camera back on you.
Yes, I put the camera back on me. I'm too fascinated with today's hair to keep my thoughts going. But as I was saying before, this is the square that I was working on, and as you can see, I got the majority of the square done. Okay, I have this much yarn left. See, not enough, and I still need to do 2 more rows like this much to get it to be 12 inches so that I can have my 12 inches. And I wasn't going to border it in the green. I'm going to border it in the purple. So, and I've got plenty of the purple, but somehow I lost the other little ball of green. I mean, literally, I went downstairs and took the pictures that if you've seen the pictures on Amazon, on Instagram, I went downstairs, took the pictures on the bench, carried the stuff upstairs, sat it on my bedside table, which is where I sit and knit or crochet while I watch TV with my husband. And somehow, when I picked it back up, there was a ball missing. I've looked all around my bedside table. I've looked under my bed to see if it rolled under there. I don't know where this ball of yarn could have gone to. I didn't drop it on the way up the stairs because there's nothing on the stairs or anything. So I don't know. But okay, I gotta take a sip, guys. Coffee. Okay, so but all of this stitching, I try to keep part of what helps keep a little bit of the pain at bay is if I do a slightly different project. So I'm not doing the same exact motion with my hands. So I'll crochet for a little while, and then I'll knit for a little while. Sorry about rubbing my nose, but for some reason it is itching. For some reason, the knitting, I knit continental. My hands used to hurt really bad when that's why I recognized the pain coming. My hands used to hurt really bad when I knit, but I knit continental now. So as you can see, I purl. I knit and purl with the yarn in my left hand. So I don't have to do that much motion with my right hand as I used to. But if I crochet a little bit and then knit a little bit, then it still involves my right hand more than I would like, but it's too late in the game for me to decide to learn how to crochet left-handed. So, but working on these projects has reignited my excitement for my other projects that I have sitting around, such as these are the projects that I really feel guilty working on the baby sweater. I feel guilty working on it because I have these other projects that are sitting out here. Like this one is if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that I mentioned the um the Avatar blanket. Avatar The Last Airbender. It was a cartoon they made that I heard was not a very good movie out of it. Um, my kids
The
were
cartoon was great. The movie was ruined. I said the cartoon was great. The anime, it's an American anime. It's a Marime. But the anime was great. The movie was absolutely ruined. They like so many characters they changed. They changed the names and the way they pronounce things. They changed the way that their powers work. Like there were so many things that were absolutely unnecessary in changing. They could have just like told a new story or a different, but no, they changed so much and it was so unnecessary. Sorry, I just had to jump in. I went and saw that movie in 3D. I was so upset. Continue.
I remember when your father took your brother and sisters to go see it. I can't remember if you went with them.
I was there. That's when I saw it.
What'd you say?
I was there. That's when I saw it.
Okay, so you saw it when with your sisters. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not into this kind of thing. But yeah, don't get me started on that TV rant because I will get on to that in a minute because I have something to say about that. But I want to get the yarny stuff out of the way first for the people who want to watch the yarn and leave. So so this is anyway, Avatar Last Airbender. Somebody about it must be about 10 years ago, I think, made an Afghan. And your sister, C1, found the Afghan pattern during that brief phase when she's still actually knit and crochet, kind of like you. And yes, both of my daughters used to knit and crochet and then they gave it up. But but she found this pattern and asked me to make it for her. For those of you who are new here, they're both in college. They're close to graduation at this point. She asked me to make her this blanket right when she was graduating from high school. My goal was to have it ready for her to take away to college. Of course, that didn't happen. She's a senior in college at this point and about 2 semesters away from graduating. This blanket is 4 squares. It's 4 giant squares, and then you make a border for it. So the fact that it's only 4 squares sort of lulled me into a sense of, oh, 4 squares and single crochet, I can do this. This is going to take no time at all. I underestimated how bored I get with stuff. So I kept getting bored. So I started doing the pattern the original way, and then it was like, well, I'll do it with I'll use a different stitch. I'll do, the original pattern I think called for half double crochet and then clusters. And so then I said, well, I'll do it with Tunisian. Well, I'll knit it instead of crochet it. Well, I'll just do it with single crochet and not the cluster stitches. I tried I cast this thing on 4 different times and kept ripping it out. This is what the original pattern looks like. Okay, I have it up on the screen now. This is what the original pattern looks like. And not only am I making one of these, by the way, I'm making two because my other daughter decided that she wanted one as well. So finally, I said, okay, after trying all these different stitches and alterations to try to make it easier on myself to get this done, I was like, just do it in the original stitch. And if you get bored, put it down, pick it up later. So that's kind of where I am with it now. This is, let's see. Okay. This is where I am with, I'm doing the water square for both of them right now. This is for my daughter C1. They're twins, by the way. This is how far hers. I think this is how far, if you see that orange marker there, this is how far I was the last time I made a video. And this is how far I am now. I can't really fit the whole thing.
Oh, that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, this is going to be a giant blanket. And I think this one, because it's kind of curving, I don't know if you can see, but it's like, I can't hold it up well to show you, but it's kind of bunching up down in here. This is me using the original pattern where it said to do, I think it's half double crochet and then cluster stitch for the dark part, which is the emblem part. That is supposed to make the emblem part stand out a little bit. And then this is, let's see if I've got a marker. Okay. This pink marker, I think this is the last time I made a video. Can you see that pink marker?
I can.
Okay. That's where I was the last time I made a video before 2019. And so I have worked on it since I've made videos, but not worked on it. So this is the other one. As you can tell, my one daughter, C1, who is not exactly sweetness and light, but she's more of a traditional kind of girl. She wanted the actual colors that were in the pattern, that were in the original pattern. And her sister, who's a little bit more of a rocker chick, her favorite things to wear are black and dark red and more black.
My boyfriend always calls her punk rock whenever she comes over.
She's she's sweetness and light, but you wouldn't know it from, she's not extreme. Like she doesn't have, gauges in her ears and studs in her nose and stuff like that. But she does tend to like to dress more on the dark side. So I just reversed for her blanket, I'm just reversing the colors. So hers gets the dark background with the light emblem. And then her sister gets the traditional light background with the dark emblem. But this project has been sitting. See, I've got this bag, which I don't normally keep project bags, but I've got this bag. And this, by the way, is not a project bag. This is a bag that either some pajamas came in or a sheet set might have come in this. So, and I just keep those kind of things. Just like the wigs come in these reusable bags too with Ziplocs on them, and I just keep the wig bags and put yarn in them. But the project's been sitting like this because I was moving around stuff in my room. the project was sitting like this with this facing me for the past 2 weeks, and I'm like, that project's starting to look interesting to me again. I might have to pull that out. So as soon as I get done with the baby sweater, maybe I'll get back to work on these blankets. Maybe I can get them done before they actually graduate from college. Although I don't know because C2 is graduating in December and this is February. I don't know if I'm going to get that blanket done. You see how big the squares are. So to get 4 that size, I don't know about all that. But we'll see. So, was there anything else you wanted to show, Maya?
I don't. Oh, wait, yes. So with getting my metal stamps, sorry, I somehow got like 3 knots in my yarn while you were explaining all of that. So along with getting my metal stamps, I had to get a little metal block to hammer the stamps on, so that it was something to brace against, you know. Mm-hmm. And with getting that metal block, I was able to do metal hammered jewelry. So metal hammered wire, and I'm super excited because they're really fun. It's really fun to just hammer stuff, you know. But I've got, if I can find a little box of things. So let's see if I can pull everything out. Oh no, okay. So I made, and these are on the ear hooks, but I made these they're just hammered metal hoops, and they've got when they're hammered, they've got kind of a different flash to them because they're flat. So I've got those. I need something to hold up as the background for things. Let's see. Oh, here, let's do this. I have a sketchbook. So I'm just going to hold up one at a time, but I've got these little hammered snaky zigzags. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Ooh, let's see. Hammered snaky zigzags.
Those are cute.
That turned out pretty fun. Yeah. And one thing that I didn't know when I first started working with wire, but I know now, is that when you hammer wire, so the wire will come to you the wire that I get so I can work with it with my hands is called dead soft. So it's soft enough that I can bend it with my hands if I need to, but I also use the pliers to get certain things or whatever. But when you hammer it, then it work hardens the wire. So the zigzag that I showed you, if I had just made that out of regular wire and hadn't hammered it, then it would have been really pliable. It would have been liable to if someone picked it up the wrong way, it would have bent out of shape. But as you hammer it, then it work hardens it, and so it's stronger and more likely to stay in its position that you put it in, which is really cool. Yeah. So I can do more freeform wire things. So I've got, this is the next one. Let's see, it's just some sort of.
I like that.
Me too, which is why I made an earring for myself. So I've got, this is the last one. I used another one of the skull beads that I like, and put a little bead on it.
Cool.
They're super fun. So I'm almost out of wire. So I just did a big order for, I've got some square wire coming in. I've got some half round wire coming in. If you don't know what wire is, or if you don't know wire terms, then this probably means nothing to you. But anybody that does know wire, I've got square wire coming in. They're just shapes of wire. I've got half round. I've got some more round wire coming in. I've also got some round, I can't remember. I think I either ordered antique copper colored wire or brass colored wire. I can't remember which one I finally settled on, but I'll see whenever the order comes. Super excited though. Yeah.
Okay, so do we have anybody in the chat room?
No, I was looking. We had one person watching for a little while because, as we know, it shows up and it says one person's watching, but one of those is me. So we had 2 people on there for a little while. So it said, but not anymore. So maybe they'll come back and watch it later.
That's cool. No biggie. Okay, so this is we're about 35 minutes in. I've pretty much shown all the yarn stuff I'm going to show. Maya has shown all her crafty stuff, so if that's all you've shown up for, then this is a good time for you to duck out. We're still gonna talk because this is the only time we see each other all week. So we're gonna talk for a little while longer. And you're welcome to hang out and continue to listen to us talk if you'd like to. I have a couple notes on things that I was gonna talk about. First off, which is still kind of yarny thoughts. This week, Lion Brand, what was actually last week, like the 15th through the 21st, was doing a promotion for their home. Not a promotion, kind of like they tend to put the spotlight on different yarns once a month or something like that. And so they were going back to their homespun, which
brand was this again?
Lion Brand.
Okay.
And I'm not much of a yarn snob. So, like knitters, well, I'm not even gonna go down that road because it's rude. But let's just say that I grew up with yarns like Red Heart. So to me, homespun and Lion Brand in general is like fancy to me. Because I'm used to spending about $250 a skein for yarn. So $650 a skein for some yarn is fancy. Okay. Which is about where the Lion Brand fits, $650, $750 a skein. But so they were doing their little focus on homespun and how great homespun is. And I kept thinking that I have a love-hate relationship with homespun. When I first started getting back into knitting about 20 or 25 years ago, I used homespun. And that was one of those yarns that I would treat myself to because I thought, ooh, it's fancy. I'm going to put it up on the screen for a minute. So it, as you can see up on the screen, it has kind of what they call a boucle, where it's wavy and it's soft. The good things about homespun are what they say in the article, which is that homespun, you don't do any fancy stitches with homespun because homespun is too wavy to actually show any of your stitches. So you don't waste your time trying to do cables and a bunch of stuff in homespun. I was trying to bring up a picture of one of the things that I actually finished in homespun. But yeah, outside of Red Heart, homespun was like the fancy yarn, but I figured out quickly homespun can be hard to work with. And not a lot of people say that. And Lion Brand, of course, is going to say that because Lion Brand is, the people who make it. So of course, they're not going to say it. But it can be tough to work with. But once you're done, the project itself feels so soft and squishy that after you take a break from it for about a month or two, you forget how hard it was to work with, and it's like, oh, I want to use that again. And I thought I had a picture of this project, but I never took a picture of this project. Let's see.
So what kind of things would you use homespun yarn for? Like what kind of projects?
It's really popular, like I said, because you don't want to do any fancy stitches with it. So it's real popular for people who crochet prayer shawls or lap afghans to give to people in nursing homes, because it is very soft and squishy.
Okay.
So this is similar to what I made. You probably don't even remember, but I made your brother this. This is not
yes, I remember that exactly.
And I
Oh,
made,
wait. Am I thinking of something else? Did you make it in yellow?
no, the yellow one was yours.
Okay.
The
Then
yellow,
no, I don't remember.
no, I made him one in, I don't even see if I can see the color. It was similar to that color, like like that Sierra color.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a simple little hoodie. I don't think it even had the pockets in the front. I think I made it without the pockets in the front. And it was so, I mean, it was so cute on him. And I I was so proud of myself for finishing it because you know me, I hardly ever finish any garments for you guys when you were kids. I made you a sweater, I made you a pair of socks, and I think I made him a sweater, and that's as close as I've gotten to finishing garments for you guys. But I'm but since all this is to say Lion Brand's doing this promotion and all of a sudden I'm thinking, I might want to do I might want to buy some homespun. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. The thing is that if you make a mistake with homespun, mistakes don't show very well, don't show up that much, so you can kind of leave the mistake in and keep stepping. But if it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
big mistake where you have to rip it out, trying to rip out homespun can be a nightmare.
Oh,
And
I bet probably catching stuff.
yeah, it sticks together on itself. And one of the things that at least I had a problem with is that crocheting with homespun I think would probably be better than knitting with it. I knit with it. I did not crochet with it. I knit with it and it split you would constantly because it's a thicker yarn, it's like a 5 or a 6, and you would
Yeah.
split the strands when you try to pick up
Oh, yeah.
when you try to make a stitch or pick up a stitch, it would split. But when you were done, when you finally finished the project, it was like, oh, this is so soft and this is so squishy, and the the feel of the yarn and the waviness of the yarn makes non-knitters and non-crocheters think that you did a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So it's an impressive yarn that way. It makes people think you really did something. And so
I've got a couple wire patterns that I do, especially my I did something wrong. Especially my wire circlets. I make, let's see, do I have one on me that I can show the world? Yes, okay. So ignore the tape on the ends. I was working on covering the ends. But I make these wire circlets. And if you can see the little braiding pattern here.
When you say circlet, is that the thing that goes up on your forehead?
Yep, just like this.
Okay.
Yeah, circlets, or they're called something else as well, but I can't think of what they're called. But they always make me think of like elves and princesses. But
Yeah.
or elven princesses. But this pattern here, it's a fairly simple pattern, but once you do it, everybody's like, "Oh man, that looks so crazy!" And how'd you do it? It's really, it's just like a 5-strand braid. It's just, first of all, getting started, because you have to. That's why I've got this tape here. You have to like keep the wire in one place somehow, and I've tried like taping it to a book and like just taping it together and like holding it with my feet, and I'm like, how do I get you to stay? And then once you get it to stay, finishing the rest of it is pretty okay, and then it turns out really awesome. But it's like, why I hate doing this, and every time I start one, I'm like, why am I doing this again? I hate it.
Exactly. That, to be honest, that can pretty much cover how I feel about knitting and crocheting in general. I hate to say that out loud, but it's like a lot of times I want the finished object, like with those blankets for your sisters. I want the finished
Yeah.
object, I want them to have the finished blanket, but you cannot buy a blanket like that in the store. So it's a one of a kind thing. So I want them to be able to have it. I want to be able to say I made it because, I'm a little selfish that way. I get puffed up when people go, "Oh, you made this. Oh, wonderful." So I want to be able to say that I made it, but the actual crocheting of it is where I get bogged down. Even if it's something simple like this pattern where it's just single crochet all the way across and just changing colors every once in a while. I just get bored with it, and it's like, ugh, I cannot do any more of this.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I hate being in the middle of a project. Yeah. Like, starting it is like, oh, I'm doing a new thing. This is cool. And then like finishing it, I'm like, yeah, I made a thing. But like deep in the middle of a project like that, like the dream catcher I showed you before, the really big one, deep in the thick of that project, I'm like, man, I don't need this. I don't need this. I can do something else. I don't need this.
Exactly. That's why I think with this 5-hour baby sweater, because I keep having the urge to make this on and off, and I've ignored it so far because it's like, you know what? There's no baby showers. All the babies there are no babies coming, so I don't need to make this. But I realized as I was posting the picture of it on Instagram last week, I realized part of the reason once I gave into to making it is that this is one of the few patterns where I actually enjoy the knitting of it all the way through. I enjoy actually making it. And I used to think, oh, well, because there's something interesting every few rows, because a lot of people don't like doing what they call mindless knitting. Like they don't like stockinette stitch. Like when you make a sweater and you have that whole body of the sweater where it's all knit stitch in the round for like 15 inches. A lot of people are like, oh my God, that is so boring. I can't do that. This is driving me crazy. I can't wait for this project to be done. See, that part does not bother me because mindless stockinette in the round, I can do that while I'm watching TV. I can do that in the car. I can do that wherever. It's when there's stuff where it's fiddly, that's where it gets to me. I mean, sometimes I think I want an interesting pattern, but part of the reason I ended up with all these patterns, I've got all these big patterns. I've got the 2 Avatar Afghans today. I've got the Dead Sea blanket for Isaac, which I have not even started. And I've got the sports blanket, which is huge. Mm-hmm. And I took all of those on because for years I only made like hats and baby sweaters because they were simple, they were easy. And I was like, well, I can't call myself a real knitter or a real crocheter if I don't take on some of these big projects that all the other knitters and crocheters are doing, And so I took on 4 big projects at once. And now like, all of these are fiddly projects because they all have charts. It's not that the stitches themselves are fiddly, but the charts are fiddly. And when something has a chart, then I constantly look back and go, did I do the right number of stitches? Did I do the right number of stitches? And that slows me way down because I'm constantly counting and recounting when I look at a picture on the chart. So I'm thinking that what I might do is I might sit down with at least one of these projects and just count the stuff and write it down. I know that you remember Miss Libby, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, Miss Libby was doing a Doctor Who blanket for her daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she ever finished it. But it had different squares. It was a corner-to-corner blanket, and it had different squares. And instead of doing the charts, I don't know if she wrote down the counts or if they already had the counts already done. But I remember that she, rather than doing the chart, she did the counts where it's like 26 blue, 5 white, 26 green, 5 white. And I was like, oh my God, why are you doing this? I was like, why are you doing that? Why can't, when you just have the chart, just look at the chart. And now I've got 4 projects, and I'm like, you know what?
She was on to something.
What'd you say?
I said she was on to something.
Exactly. But every time I've seen, okay, I'm gonna put it up on screen. This is the website of the person who created the Afghan. Okay. This is the one.
Oh, it's so cute.
Well, I don't know why my screen is doing that.
It's so cute, though.
Now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see it now. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, this is in my to do someday, maybe.
I call dibs on that one. Dibs.
I don't know if you get this one. You don't even watch Doctor Who anymore.
I may not be caught up, but I was just saying to Wayne that I think I'm going to catch up soon. Because I have this bad habit of just wanting to rewatch stuff that I've already seen. Because one, if I'm doing a project that's fiddly, as you say, then I don't have to worry about looking up at the screen because I know what's going on. And two, I'm like, I don't want to be blindsided by some drama that I was not expecting. Because I was watching Full House today. And I've seen all of Full House, so I'm not like, nothing's blindsiding me. But I was watching an episode and some sad shenanigans happened. And I'm like, man, if I was watching this week to week, I would be real upset because that's the episode that I got today. And somebody just died. Like, so I'm not prepared for that in other shows. But now that I'm so far behind in Doctor Who, I can just like catch up and binge and just like get to something happy. So it's not as bad. But watching that show that she recommended me made me want to like start watching more new things.
Okay, we're not getting to TV yet.
I know, but you're showing Doctor Who stuff. Oh, I wanted to say that's what's on my necklace. My necklace says Geronimo. My little ring necklace, it says Geronimo on it.
That's cool. So that I'm really attracted to the to the blankets and things that it seemed like last year, maybe a year ago, there were a bunch of these crochet alongs that were based on TV shows and different things, and different squares based on different things, and I'm just in love with these things. Like this one.
No, I called dibs on that one.
Can you see it?
Yes, and I called dibs.
Because I can't see it. I mean, I can see it on my thing, but.
Oh yeah, I see it on my screen. There it is. It's showing up. You still got it going back and forth between the two of us. Set it to go only on your screen. Because I'm looking at the live stream. There we go. We see it on the live stream now.
Yeah, this one was real popular. It seems like about a year ago when everybody was doing it, and I don't watch this show, but I like the blanket. But I don't watch this show, but I like the blanket.
I need it. I need it in my life.
Well, then you need to crochet it.
That's why I will never have it in my life. I do not have time for that. That's why my favorite kinds of patterns are the kinds of things that I can do. And this isn't knitting patterns. This is just like any kind of patterns. Mm-hmm. Are the kinds of things that I can like watch the tutorial twice on YouTube and then like memorize it and do it myself. Like this dream catcher, I've watched this tutorial a few times on YouTube and now I'm just doing it for memory. Like I don't I hate having to like watch as someone's doing something to get each thing, or to like there are no real written patterns for like dream catchers, or like there's some written patterns for wire, but they're like really bad, like WikiHow with the pictures, and it's so annoying. So I want to be able to like watch the tutorial a couple times and then just do it from memory while I'm sitting in front of something.
That I can feel you on that one. I can feel you on that one because what am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, yes, I do. I had my first experience with making something completely from a video. And I don't know how these, I was going to say young crocheters, but I should say just new crocheters because I think there's some older people who are like that too. Where they, is this supposed to be a pearl? Right. Are you laughing at me?
Yes, I'm laughing at you.
Why are you laughing at your mother?
Just the way you, is this supposed to be pearl mid-sentence?
No, it's not supposed to be pearl. See, I was about to mess up. It's all your fault.
Not my fault. You were
So,
saying leaders and YouTube?
but yeah, I made that halter top, which Sydney ended up she did not want, and that told me right there, don't ever knit anything for Sydney unless she specifically asks me for it. Because she is it's a catch 22 with her. She is, you know, that she's smaller than all the rest of us. She's got that model size body. So
Yeah.
a lot of the patterns that don't come in a 3X I can make for her, but
Mm-hmm.
she wouldn't wear them. So
Yeah.
now I know I will never, because I saw and I thought surely she'd wear this halter top because it just looked like her type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And nope. But I crocheted this halter top from a YouTube video. And the woman had no, she has lots of cute halter top patterns. Well, I shouldn't say patterns. She has videos, but she has no written she has no written patterns. She has no website. She just
Ooh.
walks you through how to do it, and it's not like chain 32 stitches, then blah blah blah. She was like chain until it's big enough to fit around your waist. I need a little bit more than that. You know, I don't understand these because I'm old school. I don't understand these knitters and crocheters who can just go straight from the video.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but like I'm also making a pair of socks with the I wanted to learn how to do the two at a time, doing both pairs of socks at one time on a single circular needle.
Yeah.
And I saw a video for it. It was around the same time that I was doing the halter top. And
Mm-hmm.
the problem is that I can't unless I'm sitting somewhere where I can watch the video, I can't work on the socks because there's
Yeah.
no written. And the same thing with that halter top. That's the other thing that I don't like about working directly there from a video. Because there was like three different projects that I tried to do that way. The halter top, which I did finish, the socks, which are still sitting in a drawer, and I think I might just pull those out and start over and just make socks like I know how to make socks.
Mm-hmm.
And the 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 third one was this project of kind of like the other project I'm doing, making different Afghan squares to turn into a blanket. And
Yeah.
it's like a sampler thing, so you're doing different stitches in every square. And
Mm-hmm.
it was called like a 365 because this woman did a different Afghan square every day. And so I was in this group where we were all trying to do her squares. And I
Mm-hmm.
did about 5 squares and then I stopped because I can't sit in front of the video A lot of times when I do crochet, it's sitting in the bedroom next to your father watching TV. So if I have a written pattern in front of me, like with this baby sweater, I can look over, see what row I'm on, then go back to talking to your father or go back to watching TV. And doing the stuff strictly on video, or like if I'm at your Aunt Terry's house and we're sitting drinking Moscato and talking, I want to be able to work on my project while we're sitting there talking, but I can't do that if I have to listen to a video and figure out what the next step is.
See, what I do a lot of the times is I will watch the video a couple times before I even start the project. One, to see if I like it and see how it works out and everything. And then I'll get kind of familiar with it. And then when I start the project, if I'm like, oh wait, how does this part go? I'll be watching TV, like sitting like we are now. I've got the computer screen. I'm watching on the computer. I'll bring it up on my phone, mute it, turn on subtitles, like the automatic subtitles, watch what she's doing, and then go back to what I'm doing. Like not even stop what I'm doing just to see what she's doing.
Yeah, I think if I run into another pattern like that I want to do from a video, I think I will probably just maybe watch the video and write down some of the steps as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Since I know all the abbreviations and what have you for knitting and crochet patterns, just write down the pattern.
Yeah.
Because I did start keeping a notebook to, I don't know if I showed you that before, but I did start keeping a notebook where I can keep track of where I am in the patterns. Because for a long time, when I was first getting back into knitting and crocheting about 20-25 years ago, everything was paper. It was all paper patterns. And I worked in an office, so I would do a photocopy of the pattern. You know, if I got the book from the library, or even if it was one of my own books, I would do a photocopy of the pattern while I was in the office. And then I could like cross out each line after I finished it, or put a little check mark, or, you know, if it said 15 rows, then I could put little tick marks next to it so I would know how many rows I'd knit before I go to the next section. So basically, I scribble all over the pattern to keep my place. And then, but nowadays, now, you know, fast forward to last year or so when I started getting back into stitching more heavily. Everything is, all the patterns are online. I'm not working in an office anymore. So I'm not using my expensive printer ink to try to print out a pattern. So I tried to just follow patterns and just kind of keep in my head where I'm supposed to be, or I'd have a little scrap of paper to mark stuff down, but then I lose the scrap of paper. And then if I sat the pattern down for 3 months, which I am wont to do, then I'd pick it back up and I'd be like, I don't know where I left off on this pattern. And sometimes I'd even rip out the progress back to where I recognize something in the pattern and then have to re-knit that. And you know how slow I knit, so that's like, oh my gosh. That's
ripping out 6 months worth of progress.
Yeah, that's like pulling my teeth out without anesthesia. That's like, ooh. So I finally got a little 50-cent notebook from Walmart and I'd write down the name of the project and what kind of yarn I was using and where I got the pattern from. And I'd write little notes and stuff. And that has really helped me. So if I go back and pick up the project later, I can at least flip to a page in my notebook and go, okay, this is where I was last time.
Yeah.
But I'm still resistant to doing things like I told you with the charts. You know, it still seemed like I have the chart in front of me. Why should I have to write down these counts? Why can I not just look at the chart and do the project? But I realized that looking at the chart that way is it's holding me back from doing the project. Because I want to do it that way because it's so fiddly and it feels like it takes so much more time. So I think that's the task I'll probably set myself next week because I have about maybe an hour where I stitch to work on the project after I get off work and after I do my schoolwork. Because I've got 5 classes this
Ooh.
semester doing. So I work and then I do my schoolwork. I try to at least wash some dishes and throw some laundry in the washing machine or something as I'm passing by on the way to the bathroom. And
Mm.
and then I usually stop around 10 o'clock so that I can start getting into my pajamas and stuff to be ready when your father gets home from work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I work a little bit before he falls asleep. So I have roughly an hour that I work on stuff. So I think next week I will take that hour and just look at all those charts and start writing down the counts and see if that'll make it easier for me to zip through some of these projects.
It might. I I'm having to take out and redo this section because it's like it's fiddly. I'm sorry. I am listening to you. I'm just very frustrated because I'm working with like tiny little thread and it keeps slipping around. I don't know how they like in the pattern that they were doing. She's just like, oh, make a loop here, and then make a loop on the other side, and then make a loop here, and make a loop on the other side. I'm like,
Show
huh?
again what you're working on.
I'm doing a little baby dream catcher, but it's I'm working because it's supposed to. What's supposed to happen is all these points are supposed to come and they're going to spread out into a triangle, and these points here are going to thin in into another triangle. So it makes kind of like a sunburst, like star kind of pattern or whatever. And then I might do something different in the middle. But it's like because what I have to do basically is this string here, this first string here, I have to make a loop on this side and make a loop on this side. And I go over, so this is all flat string, and then I make a loop on this side, and then I make a loop on this side. But what she didn't say in the video, because she didn't say anything, she just like did motions or whatever, is this one, I make this loop, and then I go to make the loop on the other side, and the first loop starts sliding down. And I make the loop on this side, I start making the loop on this side, and this loop starts sliding down. And I'm like, how? How did she get them to stay there? What is going on? And I'm having to try to thread this tiny needle with this big crochet thread, and it doesn't want to like go through. And I have, the little needle threaders that come in these little like I got a little sewing kit thing because I have to like mend pants all the time, and it came with like the little needle threader thing that I'm sure that you can see in there, the little silver bit or whatever. The wire part that you put the thread through to pull it through the needle popped off, so it doesn't work. And I'm like, ugh.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, one more yarny thing, and then we'll talk about TV.
All right.
I wanted to show you this Line Brand because I told you I get the Line Brand emails. Okay, so they in the last email that they sent me they were talking about this thing called Sheepskate Sales. So basically, they now have a sale page where every week they're doing a little promotion of what you can buy directly from the website on sale. And
Okay.
one of the things that they've got on clearance, I'm going to put it up on screen. Because this made me think of you. This is not something I would do, but this made me think of you. Is this stainless steel yarn?
What? What?
It's got wool and stainless steel, and the yarn weight is a 1, which is a super fine. 75% wool, 25% stainless steel.
What? That's so weird. What do they recommend it for? Like, I know what I would use it for, but what do they recommend it for? What?
They recommend it for, let's see, strong yet lacy. It's great for ethereal wraps or beautiful original jewelry.
I do love the word ethereal.
Combine it with other yarns to add texture and strength to sweater and accessories. Now, I don't know if I want stainless steel in a sweater, but
it sounds extremely itchy.
But
because that is good.
Okay. I was trying to. Okay, they've got a picture of this woman who's got some sort of necklace that it looks like it's been crocheted out of
Okay.
this. And there's this other like jacket where it looks like the sleeves
Yeah.
are out of the stainless steel part, and this is like regular yarn. Because if you look up close, see it looks
Mm-hmm.
like that might be stainless steel.
I might try it. How big of a? Oh, it comes in a pack of 3.
Yep. There's a three. They got it on clearance. It's a 3-pack for $23. So I don't know if they're going to be carrying it anymore or whatever.
Yeah. I might try it.
But they've got it on their website. It looks interesting. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't make jewelry, so I would not even know what to do with it. But
Well, I probably wouldn't use it for jewelry, but it would probably be really good for the dream catchers because I always have to find like really fine yarns or strings, but they have to be like they can't be super fuzzy because it'll catch on itself and stuff like that. So, but that looks really interesting, actually.
yeah, but I'm thinking I might keep an eye on this. I'm just kind of putting that word out there for all the other yarny people.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thing that Lion Brand is doing now. I don't know if they were doing this before. This is the first time I've seen it in their email. So they're making it sound like this is a new thing they're doing. That they're going to send out the email every week or you check it every week. It's new stuff on sale every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got mill end balls of their Lion Brand mandala, which I know you're not a yarny person, but the mandala is last year was all the rage with these cape yarns with the different colors. You see how it's got different colors in the ball.
Yeah.
So just instead of like what I'm working on now, where it's different splotches of color, with one of these balls you get a pattern where it's like a big section of the pink and then a big section of blue.
Hold on just a moment. Sorry.
No
Hold
problem.
on. My cat's sick. I'll be right back.
All right. But for those who are still watching, you're still watching this. I still haven't tried any of the cake yarns. So this mill end pack of 3 balls for $10 looks like a good deal to me because when I've seen the 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 when I've seen the cake yarns in the store, they've been like $7 or $8 for one ball. So this pack of 3 is really tempting. I get some of that for myself between now and next fall. And they've got Woolly Stick and Quick, which I haven't used in a long time. I've got some of this landscapes yarn that I haven't used yet that I bought, and it's sitting in my stash. So they've got some interesting things. This pelt yarn. See, this is interesting to me because when I first got back to crocheting about 20, knitting and crocheting about 25 years ago, the novelty fur yarns were all over the place. So, and they've got some homespun on sale. Again, a pack of homespun for $15 sounds good to me because it's about $8 a skein, at least at the places I've seen around here. So to get 3 skeins for 15 sounds like a deal to me. So if I'm about to try homespun, that would be worth. Um, but fun for yeah, that was big several years ago. So so they've got some interesting stuff that's on the sale. The cake yarn is the thing that really piques my interest because it's only $10 for the. But I really don't need any yarn. At the same time, I really want to try some of the cake yarns.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's all right. How's the cat?
He's okay. He's just when we took him to the doctor yesterday, he was severely dehydrated. He had eaten something that made him vomit, so he got really dehydrated. So we're having to force feed him, and he's Wayne just needed help feeding him because he hasn't eaten very much today. So we're having to force feed him kitten formula until he starts until he gets his strength back and he can eat by himself.
Oh, that's a bad.
Yeah. But he's doing much better than yesterday. Like, he's actually up and walking around today, whereas yesterday he wouldn't really move. So I'm so happy he's doing much better.
Well, that's good. Okay, so we're done talking about crafty stuff. Well, we might be done. It's hard to have a conversation and keep it segmented. You know what I mean?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you because the dog was whining. So many animals.
Have a conversation and keep it segmented.
Yeah. Very much so.
Okay. All right. Turn my light on. Okay, that's too much glare on my face. There, much better. Okay. Okay. So, you want to talk about TV or do you want to talk about wigs?
Let's go ahead and talk about wigs right now because I know you're dying to, and then we can talk about TV.
Okay, so I'm trying to pick out what hair I'm gonna wear on my trip next week.
Okay. I really like the one you have on. It looks really good.
This hair on. See. And this is the first time I've worn it with a kerchief, by the way. I don't normally wear it with a kerchief. What'd you say?
It looks really good. I like it. I think it looks really good.
Okay, cool. This is the hair that I got for Christmas from your sister.
Which sister? C2 or C1?
C1. You know she's the fashionable one. You know C2 ain't buying me a wig.
I mean, I don't know. She's all punk rock and everything. She might buy you like a mohawk or something.
Whatever. So, but I also, one of her coworkers bought a wig and didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's too old lady. And since I'm trying to embrace my old ladiness, this is the other one.
Ooh.
That I'm thinking.
I like that color.
I wasn't sure about the color at first, but I think when I wear these glasses and have lipstick on, the color looks pretty good. But
are you going to do a wig try on for us?
Yes, I'm going to do a wig try on for you. It's going to look scary because I could not find my wig cap, so I do not have a cap on it. Also,
man, there's so many times I do not put on a wig cap.
Huh?
There's so many times when I do not put on a wig cap because I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'll figure it out.
No, I can't find where my wig caps went. Okay, so this one makes me nervous because this one's human hair. I don't buy human hair.
Yeah.
But it was, given to me. So
I mean, that means you can straighten it and curl it and do whatever you want with it.
That's what they say, but it makes me nervous. The only thing about this one is that the hair tends to fly away a lot in my face, number one. And number two, there's no combs on the inside. I like to have combs. I have found, although I haven't spent much time in the wig life, I have found that I like to have combs on the inside.
I don't know how I feel about combs because I have 2 wigs right now. I've owned 3 total, but I have 2 wigs right now, and only one of them has combs. And I find it may just be that the wig is smaller, but I find that when I wear the combs and it squeezes my head and it pulls my hair, and it's just very annoying. I like that one. I think I like the other one better, but I don't dislike the one you have on.
So if anybody watching this now or later decides they want to add something in the comments, feel
Ooh, Tracy Davis is here. She says, hello, I'm late. It's okay, Tracy.
Yeah, it's okay, Tracy.
We're just
We already talked about all the yarny stuff, so you'll have to go back and watch the video later if that's what you showed up for. But see, now the thing with this, you can see how this is kind of asymmetrical here.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know how I feel about that, but that's where the tabs on the side line up. If I make it, if I make it symmetrical, then the tabs are crooked. So
yeah, it's meant to be a side part, but I don't know, because I don't like I don't normally have wigs that have like a harsh part in them. Mine always have bangs, like very defined like bangs, and so there's not that much of a harsh part. That's the only thing that I don't like about that one. Like the other one, because it was curly, there wasn't really a harsh part there, and so I like that look a lot better. That one with the harsh part is like, is that a lace front or is it just a like it's got a cap thing inside of it?
it is not. I don't think it's a lace front. It's got. See, that's the other thing about this one. The hair is really flying away, so it's always in my face. I wore it the other day with a clip, like right here, to
Oh, that's cute.
to keep this side out of my face because this is the side that's driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to wear this one or the black one.
I prefer the black one, unless maybe you find a different way to not really style, but like maybe a different way to do that one. I like what you did when you pinned it back like the clip. Maybe I mean, because that is human hair, and even with synthetic wigs, you can like if there's a lot of like flyaways or whatever, you can put product in it and then just wash it out later.
See, I haven't even reached any of my wigs yet because they're all so new. So I feel uncomfortable. I'm scared I'm going to mess them up. But
No, just put something in it, because that's what I do with like all the time. I'll do that with my wigs. I'm like, oh no, you're annoying. Let's put some like just whatever I have, because I like I have no money. I am for anyone watching this, I'm a broke college student or graduated, left out of college.
You can stop saying college student, Missy. You're darn near 30.
I'm a millennial. I have no money.
Yes, you are a millennial with no money.
So I have like whatever lotion or hair oil or gel or whatever happens to be in my bathroom at the time that I happen to pick up at probably Walmart. I'm like, let's slap some of that on it and see what it does.
Okay. Now the only other wig thing I wanted to mention. Oh, I got a clip in here. I'm gonna leave this on for a minute, but I gotta take this out of my hair, out of my face. So I bought this other. I wanted a hair piece. See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. I like it. You look very Velma.
I might wear it like this, maybe.
You look like Velma. Straight up. I like it.
Gee, thanks. Okay, so this one's new. I mean, I've only had it for a week. I've not worn this one out of the house yet. The black one has been out of the house. If you've seen the picture of me on girls' night drinking with Terry and Courtney, that one's the one I was wearing. That one's been out of the house.
Yeah.
Was not been out of the house. Although
Tracy Davis says in the chat, "Are you mother and daughter?" Yes, we are mother and daughter. Can you guess which one's which?
Very funny. Very funny. You keep talking for a second. I'll be right back.
No problem. To catch Tracy up or anybody who hasn't seen these videos before, I am Maia. I am Dani's daughter. This is her channel, and we are both crafters. She does more knitting and crocheting and things along those lines. I do a lot of, I tend to branch out a lot. So I do dream catchers, which I'm working on a little baby dream catcher right now. I make jewelry. I showed some of that earlier. So if you watch back the live stream, I've got, do I have any to pull out right now? I don't even think here's an earring. Here's an earring I can pull out. I do jewelry. This is just a simple little wire and bead doodad. And I also do henna tattoos. I have a business selling jewelry and crafts and doing henna tattoos. We live about 2 hours away, which is why it looks so good with the hat. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is if you cover that part, it looks so cute with the hat. I really like it.
Do you remember that?
I do remember the hat. I remember that yarn because there were so many things made out of that yarn.
Because I was in love with camo yarn for years.
But all that was so cute.
Anything else with that? I was in love with camo. I was thinking, as I was walking from the bedroom into here, I was thinking I have some blue camo. This is the green camo. I was thinking of using the blue camo and whipping out another hat to wear a Doctor Who shirt.
Ooh, yes.
Because I wore this hat with the Doctor Who shirt. But if I use the blue camo to wear
it would match
the shirt. But I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with it. I have 2 skeins or 2 partial skeins because they have no labels on them, so I don't know if they're new or not. So I might use those to wear with my. But you sure this looks okay?
Yeah, I really like it. Like you look very like 90s. I'm like I just finished watching my music video. Like it. Yes, I like it.
I'm still trying to get used to the asymmetrical, because I didn't do the asymmetrical thing back in the 90s when everybody else was doing it, when all the other Black girls were doing it. I did not do the asymmetrical thing. So I'm still trying to get used to this asymmetrical hair. See, if it was me, both sides of this would be like this. I want a wig with both sides like this.
I like it. I think it looks really good on you, especially with the hat. Like if you cover up that part, I was going to suggest maybe a headband or something, but like once you cover up that part, it looks so good, especially with that style of hat. I think it looks really cute.
See, I was thinking of doing this, but I don't really like this headscarf. Yeah, I'm not even going to tie that back because I don't even like that.
Yeah, with pulling it back, because with the asymmetrical, it's meant to frame your face anyway. And so without it, when you pull it back, it just kind of defeats the purpose, I feel.
Yeah, and it's going to be cool next week. So I think a hat would be in order. So a hat and my Doctor Who. This scarf I can't seem to get rid of. There's not enough yarn of it to do anything else with. It was a scrap of yarn. So I thought I would make a headscarf with it. I didn't like the shape is weird. See how the shape is like the rectangle is too long? And I knew that as soon as I finished making it, but I couldn't figure out what else to do with it.
I mean, if you send it to me, I'll find a way to wear it. You know I take all the odds and ends of stuff.
Whatever. I'm thinking I might, because this yarn does have some stretch to it. I don't know if the yarn has stretch to it or if the pattern is giving it stretch. But a few months ago, I had found a pattern for headbands that were like bendable kind of headband, and I made one. And I think I either gave it to C1 or C2. But I really liked the way it was like a mesh, and I really liked the way it turned out. But I can't remember if I wrote that pattern down or if I put it on Ravelry or not to save it. But I remember at the time I made it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great headband. I make a bunch of these with all these scraps because it works really good. It stretches. And then I never made it anymore.
I do the same thing. I'm like, I
didn't even put a headband in one of your Christmas baskets. I can't remember. Well, no, you would remember. It's mesh.
Yeah, I don't have you didn't give me a headband. I got a head scarf because I tend to wrap my hair up a lot.
Well, I don't know. Oh, the last week thing, and then we can talk about TV and then we can go. Because it's getting dark and I've got homework to do. I've got homework for 3 classes due tomorrow.
Ooh.
But so I went shopping at this wig store in Concord, and I was buying hair products, and I wanted to get myself a ponytail, right?
A
And
ponytail?
yeah, either a ponytail or like a little afro ball so that I could put on the back of my, because
Mm-hmm.
my hair is not real long.
Yeah.
So that I could put something on my little puff to make it look cuter.
Yeah.
So I found this thing, and the way it was put in the package, it looked like, I can't even do it now, but the way it was in the package, it was kind of like this. So it looked like, oh, I get 2 for 1 in this package. I get a ponytail and I get an afro puff. No,
Oh.
it is the ends. Can you see?
Yeah.
The ends. Someone took and the manufacturer frizzed out all the ends.
Mm-hmm.
Ponytail. And it's too much. The bag ripped as I was taking it out. And it's one of those kind of stores where they're going to give you a hard time if you try to take it back. And I only
Yeah.
$12. It's like a $30 Uber ride to get back to Concord. I'm not, it's not worth it. So I'm trying to make this wearable. Now I snipped off one of the little things. I could go through and snip all these little things off, but I was thinking maybe I would just try wearing it like this.
Maybe. I'm trying to think. Maybe if you put like because scrunchies are back in right now, you could put a big scrunchie over it, or I don't know, because it would look pretty okay as a ponytail. I would definitely wear it as a high ponytail.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, I'm gonna wear it up like this.
Yeah. I think you should just go for it.
So this was the third option. It's either this hair, the black hair, or the ponytail.
I would say safe option, black hair. Fun option, the current wig, the Velma wig with the hat, or going wild. Let's do your '90s braided ponytail.
Well, I think I might go. I think I might go.
Huh?
I think I might.
Yeah.
Just because I've already seen this wig. I've already been out with this wig.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already seen me twice in the other wig, which I know she prefers the other wig. But I can't wear that all the time. Although I was planning to wear it for quite a lot of time because I only bought 2 wigs. I had that wig and my short wig that I wore on the cruise. And so I was just, the big wig was going to be my summer hair. I mean, my winter hair.
Yeah.
And then the other wig was going to be my summer hair. The short wig. But the problem is the short wig gives me a massive headache. So I can only wear that.
Same thing. So have you seen what I call my Karen wig, my soccer mom wig?
I don't think so. Is that the blonde one? Like the white blonde?
No, I don't have that one anymore. That one got destroyed. But I think the cat got a hold of it. But it's about that same length, but it's like a pixie cut. So the front of it is
what color is it?
It's black, but the front of it was, when I first got it, I thought it was going to be more of a yellowy, like a honey blonde, but it's the bangs, they've got like a streak of, it was like white. And I was like, no, ma'am. So I took a Sharpie and just colored it black one day. I just colored just straight over it because I was like, it was a $10 wig. If I ruin it, whatever, I'll probably just wear it anyway. So I just colored over it, and it colored black, and so it blended in black for a while. And then after like wearing it and washing it, and the Sharpie faded, it is now a nice gray color. So it's black and like the same kind of gray that I've got in my braids right now. So it's a black pixie cut, like, so it's super short back here in the nape. Like the nape is like flat up against the back of my neck. Like, it is short. It looks like the actual nape of my hair. And then the front has like a nice like bang swoop here, and then just a little bit of short, and then you can see like the sideburn pieces and everything. But the way it sits on top of my head, it's a bit small because like I not saying that I've got like a small head, but like I've got a pretty average head. I fit most hats, most wigs, most like anything like that. But this wig like is so like I put it in and it feels like it is just constricting against my scalp, and it like slides around if I like do any kind of movement or anything. And the way it sits on top of my head, it's so like fluffy up top that I look like I'm coming in to ask you to speak to your manager. Like I look like it's every time I wear it, unless I wear like a hat over it or something, every time I wear it, that's exactly how it looks. So that's why I call it my soccer mom Karen wig. But it's that one gives me, and that's the one with the combs in it. And I just cannot wear the combs because it just pulls all of my hair, pulls like, it feels like it's going to squeeze my brain out. I'm like, this is why those soccer moms are so angry. All their brains are being squeezed out. It is so, I hate it. I love like, I don't mind the way it looks, especially with a hat or a headband, but I hate wearing it.
That's how I feel about my short wig. I like the way it looks. You know, I like the curliness of it. I really like the curly wigs. I like just running my fingers through them.
I'm just going to stop on the dream catcher right now. I have so many knots in this string. I'm just done right now. You continue. We're just going to talk for the rest of this. I'm done working on that.
Poor thing. But so the the only other, I was just going to share this. You've seen this one, but I think anybody else who watched the video may not have seen me with this hair. Well, you may have. I wore it as a high ponytail the other day.
Oh, I love that one. Yes.
Yeah. This is this is who we're going to Durham next week. So we're going on. Yeah. This is her favorite wig. But I wear this one. I mean, not a lot, but I've worn it 3 or 4 times, so I want to give my other wigs a chance. Because at this point, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 wigs and this one ponytail. So I'm trying to give them let them rotate or whatever. Because I don't leave the house that often, as well as I do. I don't leave the house that often. So I want to give all of them a different chance. I don't want to be wearing the same one every time I go out. So I think I'll definitely go with this one instead of the other one. And plus,
you should wear
seen this one yet.
If you can get that hat whipped out too, I think it would look really cute with the hat.
I think so too. Now I'm glad that I had that thought today. Having that thought on Thursday when we're driving up on Friday. I have a snowball's chance of getting it done if I start today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So TV. What we've been watching.
All right. Well, what I personally have been watching is just like what I want to watch is I am on like the last 2 seasons of Full House, the original Full House. And it is so like the last episode I watched, it was one of those episodes. So Dani, I'm not spoiling anything for Full House. You should have watched it by now. But Dani, the dad in the show, played by Bob Saget, his long distance girlfriend and turned fiance, Vicky, just got they live in San Francisco. Vicky lives in Chicago and she works in Chicago and she comes and visits every other weekend. She'll fly down to visit because they work as reporters and have bukus of money. They replace it never hit me as a child how much money they had when I was watching the show younger, but watching it like now that I'm older, they have literally like their kitchen like setup or whatever, they have destroyed the side of that house like 3 separate times.
I know.
Because it blew my mind because there was one time where Stephanie, the middle daughter, she was like sitting in one of the cars or whatever that was parked in the backyard, and she turned the car on because she wanted to turn the radio on, and accidentally backed the car into the kitchen and destroyed the wall. And they're like, and next episode, the like wall's back and no one saying anything, and not like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this, and like it's just like, oh man, you destroyed my kitchen. I don't want to be without a kitchen, and why'd you do this? And like, you shouldn't be in the car, Stephanie. We learned our lesson. And I'm like, what? What?
It's a sitcom. It's a sitcom.
And then, but still, people in sitcoms have to have money somehow. Because the second time they destroyed it, apparently not. Because the second time they destroyed it, DJ, the oldest daughter, and her boyfriend, Steve, they were trying to find some privacy, and Dani was like following them all over the house vacuuming, trying to like listen in on their conversations, because like my daughter can't be old enough to have a boyfriend, and maybe she can't be doing things and being a dad. And they're like, okay, so Jesse, the uncle, and Joey, the live-in best friend, were making a cement driveway, which why didn't they have a cement driveway from the beginning? But whatever. They were making a cement driveway in the backyard. And they
gravel,
yeah, but I didn't like. They had nothing. It was just grass. There was nothing there. Anyway, so they were making a cement driveway 6 seasons in, and Jesse's like, nah, we're not hiring a contractor. I can do it myself. Jesse or Joey, come help me. And so they make the cement driveway, and they realize, oh, we've got to leave the cement for 4 days to set. Oh wait, we've blocked the cement truck into the yard. Because they put the cement truck was on the other side of the driveway, so they couldn't get it back out. And so they're like, "Oh, we should have all this money we're wasting paying for this cement truck. We could have paid a contractor." Her shenanigans ensue. But DJ, the oldest daughter, and her boyfriend Steve are like, "We need to find privacy. This is the only place we can find privacy because he's been following all over the house." So they get into the cement truck. And they're like talking, they're like, oh, this is so sad, and we have no privacy, and we've got to figure out our life as teenagers. And then they kiss, and as they're like sucking face or whatever, one of them accidentally kicks the knob, and you know the little porry spout that goes on the cement trucks? It like whacks into the kitchen, and so their kitchen wall is destroyed yet again. And I'm like, what? And not only this time is the kitchen wall destroyed, but it pours gallons of cement into their kitchen. And I'm like, what is this? I would be homeless. I would consider like moving, like skipping town at this point. Like, how are you paying for this? Because not only you have to pay for the truck, you have to pay for all this extra cement that you just use. You have to pay for fixing the kitchen. You have to pay to redo like your floors and all this stuff, and the window. And I'm like, oh my God.
But this was when you could watch TV and things didn't have to be realistic. You could just enjoy the comedy of them. Now everything has to be so realistic. Where sometimes that's fine, but then sometimes you just want the escapism and know that everything. Because if they made that show today, the first time the house got knocked down, they used them not able to pay mortgage payment. House would get foreclosed on. They moved to the project. It would be pitiful because they'd have to make it realistic.
Well, the thing is, like, because it's just weird what they choose to make realistic and what they don't. Because they're choosing to conquer real life problems, but then this happens and like, nah, Dani's like TV money is gonna pay for this. Because like there was an episode, it was another one of those episodes where I was like, man, I'd be real upset if I was watching this week to week, is Stephanie, the middle daughter. She is in like middle school, junior high-ish age at this point, and she has to do a project with this kid who's a jerk in school. And so he comes over they work on this project about getting to know each other. And Stephanie, I'm not going into all the details, but Stephanie finds out that this kid's father like beats him at home. And so this is like a really serious episode where like Stephanie is like, I don't know. Exactly. We're like, I don't know if I should tell anybody. It's just like they have that one like super serious, like this is, and you need to like learn from this, and this is so serious, and these are things that happen, and then they smash the kitchen wall. Like, come on.
That's what sitcoms used to be made fun of for back in the day. was that it was all laughs, giggles, but then there was always some time where they would have the very special episode where somebody was taking drugs or somebody was, on a diet developing anorexia, you know.
Yes.
It's a trope.
It's just like, if I had watched that episode and that was the episode that I got for the week of Full House, I would have been like, man, bump this. I'm tired of this. What is this? I've been so upset.
Well, see, you're spoiled because your generation and your sisters who are younger than you grew up with being able to binge on things and see 8 episodes at once and what have you, whereas we grew up watching stuff from week to week. Don't get me wrong, I'm spoiled by it now too. Okay, that's one of the things where it didn't take, and especially like your father, it didn't take your father long from the time we got our first DVR and he discovered that he could like start recording. If you just start recording the show and then start watching it 15 minutes later, then he could fast forward past all the commercials and still watch it pretty much the same night. I see commercials now, but for years I didn't see commercials. I didn't see I didn't know the opening theme song to half the shows that we watched because he would fast forward past all that to the beginning of the show.
See, I understand fast forwarding commercials, but don't skip my theme song. Come on.
No,
that's like one part.
Fast forward past all of that.
But, no.
So you were going to tell me what you thought of Back in Time for School.
Oh yeah, Back in Time for School. Well, first of all, when I read it as Back in Time for School instead of Back in Time, comma, for school. I didn't realize, and so I watched the opening like intro and I was like, oh, that's what this is. I was just like, what? Was somebody running late?
But I told you what it was going to be.
I know, but I was still I think I forgot that conversation, and so I started watching it and I was like, oh, this is what this is.
Okay, so you want to explain what the show is?
Yes. So Back in Time for School is, and I've only watched the first 2 episodes, mind you, but Back in Time for School is these 15 kids and 4 teachers are sent to this old school building. It's a British show, BBC, but they're sent to this old school building to learn what the kids and teachers had to do back in like hundreds of years ago. So they go back to the Victorian era, and then they go through Edwardian era, and then they go through like mid-war time and then post-war time. And they wear the uniforms, they do the lessons, and they do and some of the things that they would have done like outside of school, like after school activities, some of the things like that. And they just learn how different it is from what we have today, which is really interesting. Is my kind of show.
Yes. This show is currently airing, so we are getting it through nefarious methods. Let's put it that way. It's not airing on American television, and it's currently airing right now. It's not from like 2 years ago or something, so I have to wait for the last few episodes. But that ever since there was another British show called Supervisors Go, which I think you can get on Hulu. I'm not 100% sure. But
if you can't get it on Hulu, it is also on YouTube because I rewatch it every once in a while because I love that show.
Yeah, where only I was telling your father the other day, only the British, I mean, they've tried on PBS has tried doing a couple of these like Pioneer House, but only the British, it seems like only the British can really do these shows because they have all of even though a lot was destroyed in World War II, they still have a lot of these older houses that they can, take back down to the 1910s. They still have a lot of stuff in their attics that look old. It doesn't take much for them to reproduce this history. But the key thing that is in their favor, that they have these British surveys that their government do. Like we do the census every 10 years, 20 years, whatever in the US. but they had these yearly surveys that they were doing. I don't know if they were monthly or yearly or whatever, but they have these yearly surveys that talk about, the makeup of the household, what people were eating on a daily basis, where was the husband working, was the wife working. They have a more in-depth picture of what people were doing with their lives than we have here in the U.S. And so they can really do historical reality shows, as they're called. And so I am absolutely in love with them. I just love them. I've watched they've had Back in Time for the Weekend, Back in Time for Dinner. Those ones focus more on like the food that people were eating. I mean, they do the clothes and everything else, but they focus on the food that people were eating and stuff.
Well, there were also some of the ones that we watched, like what was it, Regency House? They would like stay at the house for like an extended period of time, like living these lives, which was a really good one.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm in between both of those. I kind of like the ones where, I liked 1940 House, which was another one of those where they stayed in the house for extended periods of time. Those ones they take the family actual house and redo it. So that they take it back in time. There's one that I'm rewatching right now called Back in Time for Tea. The only thing that makes some of these not rewatchable is that some of the families were annoying.
Some of the families were what?
Annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Back in Time for Dinner. There was a family on that one called the Robshaws. And I swear, I think the mother on that family had like no common sense whatsoever. She couldn't figure out how to put a can up. I mean, I'm not a good cook, but she couldn't do anything in the kitchen. And I feel like I could at least done some of the stuff she couldn't figure out. And so that family kind of annoyed me. But like Back in Time for Tea is a kind of recent one. It's just from 2 years ago. And that one, I like the family on that one, so that one's pretty good. There's 6 episodes of that, and you can usually find that on Daily Motion. And Back in Time for, I like the school one because there's a lot of the Back in Time for School. I like this one because there's a lot of news footage and a lot of history of what they don't stay in each era very long, which sometimes is a detriment, but because you feel like they didn't get into the thing very long before. And there's the show that this one compares to the most would be another show that they did on BBC or maybe one of the other channels called That'll Teach Them. And that one has them. It's a subtle difference, but it's hard to explain. Like on Back in Time for School, everybody is aware, okay, this is not the 1940s. This is how I would have taught. The teacher will talk to them and say, this is how I would have taught the lesson in 1913. But I understand that this is racist and blah, 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 blah. So how do you feel about that? In the class, like they spend a few minutes teaching the lesson the way it would have been taught, but then
they like break the fourth wall basically and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, they'll have a discussion about why do you think we don't do this now? What about this did you not like? How do you think you feel about this if you really lived during that era, kind of thing. Then the school That'll Teach them. They spend, instead of jumping from years to years, they spend several weeks in the same era, like the 1960s. And the teachers and the headmaster never break the fourth wall. So it's like, this is 1962. You know you can't wear your clothes like that, blah, 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 blah. I mean, any contraband. If they get
it's a bit more Regency House or the other houses where like you need to stick to your character. This is who you are. This is what you're going to do until we get out of this house.
Exactly. More like Regency House or something like that, where you need to stick to your character. And I enjoyed that on Valentine, but I think I enjoy these back in time ones a little bit more because they do get to say, okay, this is how it was then, but it, now modern me is having a hard time, and say that out loud.
That's actually, I have this in, I took some show notes while I was watching the show, just so I'd have, remember what I wanted to talk about. But one of the things that I noticed, I only watched the 2 episodes, but one of the things that I noticed that stuck out to me so strongly from watching those 2 episodes is every time they would explain something afterwards, they would always say, to be honest. They'd be like, I thought that lesson was really racist, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy it. And then the teacher would be like, I didn't really enjoy, I don't think that this should have been a science, to be honest. It was more like midwifery. And then the other teacher would be like, I didn't enjoy, I feel like I should connect more with my students, to be honest. I didn't really, and I'm like, TBH is apparently real big over there. Like every single, go back and watch it and listen for that. And you'll be surprised how many times it sticks out every time.
Well, I may end up rewatching it while I'm waiting for the next episode, simply because one of the things with these kind of shows is that once I watch them, there's only a lot of times there's only like 6 episodes or 8 episodes to the whole series, and then I'll watch it and it's like, okay, I'm in the mood for more of this. And so I end up, you know me, I'm not a person who likes to rewatch stuff, but I have rewatched a lot of these back in time things because I'm in the mood for that kind of show, and there's only a few of them. And I've tried checking out some different ones, and they're not as good. Although I did watch Snowdonia 1890. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yes, because I keep forgetting to cancel it. Yes.
Yeah, I watched Snowdonia.
What is that?
It's two families who live on these, what they call small holdings. It's basically a farm that they kind of rent from a landlord. And so they have to share part of their takings with the landlord if they sell anything. What in America we would have called sharecropping, it's called small holding. But the husband, in order for them to have enough money to live, the husband still has to go work like in the mine. He doesn't get paid till the end of the month. And the guy, and there's like one family where I want to just slap the wife. It's like 9 episodes, and it's pretty good. But there's one family who clearly was taking it more seriously than the other. There's a couple of kids who are like, everybody's trying, because it's another one of those shows where, everybody is staying in character.
Yeah.
So the landlord comes and he wants his rent, or you're going out on the street, or you get docked for this or docked for that. And there's like 2 to 3 teenage boys who are like not taking it seriously at all.
That's annoying.
They know they're going to be out of there at the end of the month. So they go to work and they just play around. And the guy comes and tells them, okay, I'm going to dock your pay $1 for that. And they're like, whatever, don't care. Because they know they're going back to their real lives at the end of the day. And everybody else is trying to play along. And it's like, we need to get enough money to pay our rent. And they're like, whatever. But it was still an interesting.
Yeah.
I also watched Back in Time for The Factory, which is also a film
depressing
from last year. What'd you say?
I said that sounds like it would be depressing.
No, it actually wasn't depressing because it doesn't go back. It doesn't go back to like the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
It goes back to like 1950s, I think, when women first started working in the factories.
Mm-hmm.
And so it only shows like a few key points in history of when women's first joined the union, when there was a big strike, so it goes to points in history. That one was pretty good.
Okay.
That one was pretty good. Well, we have been on here for
A few
2
of these. Yeah.
so, and I'm sure I'm gonna put in the show notes where the yarning stuff ends. So if anybody wants to stop watching after 30 minutes,
Yeah.
I know that there are some people. The only reason I don't feel too guilty about keeping this going so long is that A, it's the only time you and I talk during the week, and B, there's some people who like to have a long video just to listen because they're doing.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Like if I'm driving, I'll like turn it on, like sit it to the side in the car so I can listen to people talking, or I'll put it like if I'm working on something in the room, I like just have something to listen to.
Mhm. So, see, I'm not a long video person. You have to be really engaging for me to want to listen to you for more than 30 minutes, to be honest.
Well,
But
this is the kind of video that I would put on if I was going to sleep because I'm like, this isn't anything life breaking. I wouldn't have to like if I miss something, it'll be all right. But it's just like because I fall asleep better with people talking, and
I
so
do
I'll like
too.
yeah, so I'll have like somebody talking to me, like a live stream or like a video that I've already seen, so I'm not so worried about it. And I'd put it on, and that way it's like one long video that like just to play so I can hear it while I'm going to sleep and like get to sleep without missing anything.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts right before I go to sleep. I have 3 or 4 podcasts that I know don't have loud intro music or
Mm-hmm.
loud outro music.
Yes.
And I will cue those up because I know it takes me a certain amount of time to fall asleep. And so I will cue those up so I can listen to them right as I'm falling asleep.
I made the mistake one day, or a couple days actually, of listening to my murder podcast while I was going to sleep because I was like, I just want something to listen to. I enjoy their voices. I just need to put something on because I'm already really tired. I'll just put it on and I'll fall asleep right away. So I had nightmares about like murderers chasing me and like breaking out of jail and like running through the forest. It was real bad.
That's why I stopped watching because your father and I used to watch. There was a period where we used to watch NCIS, Bones, which isn't on the air
Mhm.
anymore, but NCIS, Bones, Criminal Minds,
I remember you guys watching Bone.
all we watched was crime shows. And I got to a point where I stopped watching Criminal Minds. It's still on our DVR, although I haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen my father watch it in a while either. But I got to the point where it was just too grisly and gruesome. And I was starting to have nightmares. And I was never a person to have nightmares. And I started having nightmares. And I'm like, why am I having nightmares? Why am I jumping when I hear a sound downstairs or something like that? And it's because I've been putting all these, I mean, it sounds all arty farty, and I'm not all new agey or whatever, but I felt like I was putting all that
Yeah.
evil stuff into my brain, and then I went to sleep, and it was like, we were watching Law and Order too, so it was like just
Mhm.
too much. Too much.
Yeah.
I started back. That was the beginning of me starting to back off of a lot of the murdery stuff and the mysteries and all that kind of stuff. Now I tend to prefer to watch stuff lighter so that when I go to bed, I can actually
Mhm.
sleep.
Yeah, I find it like when I think about it, I find it kind of weird about myself that like when I watch TV, I want to watch like wholesome things, and I'm watching like Full House, and I rewatch Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But then when I'm listening to my podcast, it's like murder, 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 and I'm like, this is weird. Maybe this is why I don't want to watch anything else on TV.
No, I get in the mood to watch just um every once in a while, I'll get in the mood to watch something that's not, all sweetness and light Hallmark movie type thing. Like I was a big fan of the British version of Skins. I did watch Misfits except for maybe season. So sometimes I do want something that's a little bit gritty or whatever, but for the most part, I pretty much just want to watch something happen.
Yeah.
So okay. So we're gonna stop this video because we've been going long enough. Even people who are really bored have probably turned this off by now. So, but if you stuck with us this long, thank you so much. Did you check the chat room one more time, just in case?
I did. We didn't get anything else, but there's still one more person watching, so it may just be Tracy still watching. And my phone, I can see the percentages going down as we speak. I'm at 3%, so I'll probably get it out in a second. So bye, everybody, if I do.
Well, I'm about to turn it off right now because I have not had anything to eat today but a hot pocket and a cup of coffee. So I need food. And I can hear the echo going, so it doesn't sound very good. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. See you in 2 weeks because I'm out of town next week. 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.